Hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Rhys and today we're here to cover some of the VR news. There's some really exciting stuff to talk about this week, so let's get straight into it. So I feel like we are right on the precipice of excitement here when it comes to virtual reality. We are in for a treat over the next couple of months from new headset announcements, new games, and so much more coming our way. It's about to get so freaking spicy up in here. And I'm excited for it because it's been a dry ass couple of months and finally we're about to dive into a place where there's going to be almost too much stuff to cover. And that's the way I freaking like it. But anyway, let's dive straight into the news today. We're going to start off with the releases this week. We have one game to talk about and that game is Into the Radius. This is coming to Quest 2 natively and I am so freaking excited for this. I have played this on the channel previously as a developer's let me take an early look at it for the channel and it is very impressive. Probably one of the best ports I've seen come to Quest 2 in its entirety of giving you the PSVR game experience but on a Quest 2. If you're unfamiliar with this game, it is a very unique survival game where you get in there, it has kind of a horror element to it at the same time, which is kind of awesome in my opinion because it's not too scary enough to be like, oh, I don't want to play a horror game, but it's also got just enough spook factor to keep you interested with the whole thing. There's over 20 hours worth of gameplay in this game where you can just go off and explore by yourself, going out hunting, scavenging and getting the job done. Definitely keep your eyes out for this game as it drops on the 8th, which is tomorrow if you're watching the video the day this comes out. I am super excited for this one. Next up, we've got a banger of a trailer just dropped for Firewall Ultra. This is Firewall 2. I am so freaking excited for this. Their announcement trailer is for the PSVR 2 and every single time we keep getting a new game trailer drop for PSVR 2, it's just bigger and better news every single time. I could not be more excited. Oh, I'm so excited. This game looks to have pretty much it all. It has solo missions, multiplayer missions, and a ton to freaking do in there. If you're into that really freaking awesome first-person shooters, then this is going to be the one for you. I am just hyped out of my mind for this. They're going to involve eye tracking, they're going to have all of the haptic feedbacks. They're pretty much going to be a flagship game to go with the PSVR 2, using all of its utilities to its maximum, and I just can't wait, man. It's one of the things that I'm so excited for with PSVR 2 is people getting to experience the most ultimate experience in virtual reality. Couldn't ask any more than that. Cannot wait for this game. Definitely going to be playing this one. Next up, we also have another upcoming game called Mixture, and this one looks to be a freaking cool little adventure in the same vein as like Moss, where you have the character that you're with and you are playing like the bigger character that's overseeing them and doing the tasks. But this looks really interesting because it looks like you get to fight with the alongside your companion the Moth, and it just looks freaking dope. I'm really excited for this. Platformers work surprisingly well in virtual reality, so having a format like this just seems like it's going to be pretty freaking cool, and also like the scale of being the big guy in the story really helps sell the immersion for this kind of thing. So I'm very much looking forward to this one and I can't wait to check this one out. Next up, the fun news doesn't freaking stop as we had a trailer for Breaches drop. If you're into a Rainbow Six Siege type experience but you've always thought, I wish I could have that in virtual reality, well, now you freaking can. Well, not right now, but very soon, hopefully. Maybe towards the end of the year, early 2023. This game is looking like it is going to be so freaking good. It's dropping on Quest, which is really exciting, and then later down the line PSVR 2 as well. And it just looks like it's kind of got a bit of everything. I'm seeing grappling hooks going up walls, I'm seeing going invisible, I'm seeing breaching through walls with explosives. It just looks like it's going to have it all. A nice freaking mix of all the things that we love about Rainbow Six Siege in a virtual reality game. Oh, I know, it's like the freaking holy grail of awesome happening right here. Two freaking awesome games with Firewall Ultra and then Breaches on top of that. It's just looking like it's going to be so good going forward into virtual reality. I can't freaking wait to get into all these games. Next up, we have some news with Qualcomm and Meta joining forces to produce the best VR chip known to mankind. I feel like I'm overselling that slightly. They're basically going to be working together, as it was before that Meta was going to be trying to make their own chipsets. It now seems like they have dumped that idea and they're going to combine forces with Qualcomm and help back making the ultimate VR chip. But this chip is not going to be just held back for Quest headsets, it's also going to be used in all other mobile VR devices, which is kind of exciting because it means they're doing something for good for everyone, and it also means that there's going to be a bit better of an even playing field across everyone. I think, to be honest with you, that Meta's probably realized that there's a potential of Apple releasing their own chip, which is going to be probably freaking dodgy, and now they're realizing that they can't make their own, so they're going to have to join forces with, well, probably one of the best mobile chip developers right now, which is Qualcomm, and fair play. I think this is kind of a cool move because it does mean that we're going to get really the best that we can get. So no complaints from me on this one. I feel like it is a partnership that is welcomed amongst the community. Last up on the list, I just wanted to talk about this very briefly, but man, we are right there on the edge of so much coolness. We now have a date for Meta Connect, which is going to be the 11th of October, which I'm assuming is probably going to be around the time that they're going to announce the Quest Pro. By assuming, I mean most likely. As we saw this picture today, yeah, I might have modified that slightly to give old Marky Mark a little bit more of a cheeky smile. But anyway, they are pretty much going to be announcing that, and a date, and where to buy it. I would imagine this is going to work in a very similar vein to the way that the Quest 2 did, where they're going to announce it and instantly you're going to be able to go and pre-order one and get one for yourself. I'm very excited for this, although I do worry about the light leakage in this picture. It looks pretty awful, and I know this is supposed to be a bit more focused on the AR side of things as well, with the color pass-through and stuff. But still, I kind of hope that you can get a shroud that goes with it if you want to use VR mode in this thing. Could be good. Anyway, we'll find out a lot more about this then, and like I say, that's only a stone's throw away, so this is very, very exciting. I cannot wait to just see more VR tech. It's always exciting. Of course, we also had the announcement that the PSVR 2 is going to be coming early 2023, which is freaking exciting. And then of course, on top of that, of course, we have the Pico Neo 4 coming into play as well. And that thing is supposedly going to be pretty freaking awesome with like eye tracking and everything built into it as well. So really, we're about to step into a world of all this cool new tech being kind of universally adopted across all VR headsets, which is really cool because that means if developers are going to be making stuff for PSVR 2 that already has the eye tracking and stuff built into it, and then we have these other headsets that are going to be adopting the similar technology, it's going to be a good time for developers because at least their time isn't wasted effort putting a mechanic in that can only be used on PSVR 2. It's something that can be used across the board. So all of this stuff is super duper exciting to me, and I cannot freaking wait. I just sometimes wish I could just dive a couple of months forward and see what it's all about right now, but I can't, sadly. Anyway, that is going to bring us to the end of this week's weekly news. I hope you're enjoying these. Thank you for the love and respect that you showed me from the last one, as it was the first one on the channel, and I hope you've enjoyed this one just as much. If you have, please do leave a cheeky little like and subscribe if you are new to catch up on all things VR on this channel, from gaming, VR news, and of course just hanging out with a legend like me, Rhys the King. Anyway, I shan't blow smoke up my own bottom anymore in this video. I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.